Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to round 10 of the Formula Drivers Challenge. Today's race is coming to you from the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari in Italy, otherwise known as Imola. Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alessandro Dalladone again, and Alex Simpson will be doing the cameras. Alessandro, ciao. A beautiful day here. Imola, great weather for the racing, and I'm sure the drivers in the Formula Drivers Challenge will put on a great show for us today.
Hello Andrew, pleased to be here with you tonight here at Imola, my home track. Definitely much better than Monza. I like it really a lot because this is such a difficult track for the drivers and also the equipment, the cars, because drivers have to face these very tough corners and the car have to face these very big curves that can really unsettle it. And if you make mistakes there, it's gonna be very costly.
Well, the track's just over 3 miles in length, as you can see on the graphics on the screen. But a lot is packed into this track. Obviously, revisions over the last 30 years have meant that it's a bit slower than it once was, but it is a bit more challenging with the fast technical sections and some slower sections thrown in. Should be a tremendous race meeting today. We've got a qualifying session underway, and currently we have had 4 minutes, and it's Callum Williams who's actually leading the way at the moment with 137.68.
It's gonna be interesting. Today we have unfortunately not the driver which is in second position in we have Auger, the Orsten, sorry boys, a little hiccup there. In fourth place is not there, the driver who was fighting with Dennis Auger, the man we have now on our screen in Germany at the Nürburgring last time around. So it's gonna be interesting to see if anybody, especially some quitter, who has to make up a lot of ground. We see here a big spin for Hauger. Hopefully, he will be give here a nice donut before
It's not the
going
kind
back.
of donut that I'm sure he would enjoy at the moment, because it means that his tyres are going to be a little bit second-hand. It means that the car is going to be potentially not in ideal condition to tackle the flying laps. Quinlan Lau, the American, goes to the top of the pile then, 137.46. And Gregoire Saucy is currently second, with Sam Cowter, who is currently sat second in the championship, has just gone second overall. As Hauger starts his second flying lap after messing up the first one. Ugran crosses and he goes 13th. Kayaski goes 8th. And Simon Sykes, another American, goes to the top of the timing sheet, 137.3, so 1.5 tenths ahead of Lau.
Yeah, we see in practice all drivers being very close on pace. So we expect a close qualifying as per usual. This car is very technical, and even though it requires a lot of skills, it's definitely keeping the field very close together, especially in qualifying. So any mistake, any little corner is gonna make a difference for the drivers here at Imola. Meantime, we see here Quinlan Lowell in the 88 trying to set a better lap, which is for sure something he's looking on, because with laps the times tend to get always better and better with tire temps going always up and getting him always hotter.
Yes.
Improves, but in the meantime, Victor Andersson, the Swedish F4 driver, and Alexei Nesov put themselves in second and third position. Now most of the drivers are gonna do their last flying lap, so this is gonna be really important for them not to make mistakes. As we see here, one of the most complicated corner there, the hairpin, is definitely very tough because it gives you a lot of problems entering and exiting. Meantime here, Queen Low goes a bit wide, so this lap probably won't be counted towards his qualifying effort.
Well, definitely not. Definitely not now.
Isaac Blomqvist always getting a better time there, 38.3. Meantime, let's see if somebody is improving. Some quitter seems like to be on a very good lap. Actually, now he's in sixth position, but he will for sure try to improve his time, considering he has a very significant point difference from our leader Dennis Hauger. Kyle Williams on pole position now. Great time, 37.19 is a full tenth faster than Sykes, but Victor Andersson, the Swedish driver, now sets even a faster lap with only 3 tenths faster. So definitely a very good qualifying for the Swedish driver. We haven't seen him on the front row yet so far, so for sure he's gonna be really happy about his effort. Garcias also in the 99, the Mexican, improving to 13th. Let's see if we have still some other drivers trying to set their laps. We have
and it's still out there, and Hauger as well.
Auger, yes, is definitely gonna try to improve.
See if he can then. As well, he's set two. Hauger set two green sectors. Kauter is in the third sector of his lap, coming into the Variante Alta. Bouncing over the curbs, you need a little bit of luck in these cars, I think, in order to get a clean run through there. And then the long run towards Rivazza, double apex. Well, it's two left-handers, really. It's not really one corner, but in these cars, you can sort of make it into one, just, but it does tighten a little on the exit. Make sure you don't carry too much speed and go off on the exit. Counter then across the line. He's currently 7th. Can he improve? The man who's second in the championship drives for the line and goes fastest, 136.89. Qualifying's been a struggle for him, but he finally goes to the top of the sheet. And Hauger coming across now. Can he improve? And can he get onto pole position? No, he can't. So Dennis Hauger stays 8th, only 8th, Alessandro.
Yeah, very disappointing qualify attempt for the Norwegian driver. We've seen always him contending for a top spot in qualifying, but we know that he always try to make his way through to the top three. We have seen also at the start of the championship when we had even more drivers showing up, making his way through and keep it clean. This is what in the end gave him now a 71-point lead on Sam Kuitert in second place. We have till 3 minutes 30 left of qualifying, but everybody has set their qualifying time. We only have Philippe Ugran trying, as we saw last time in Germany, to do a few laps, trying to get the feel of the track, because obviously it's always developing. So whenever a car goes by, the track is changing. Maybe on the road it's affecting a little less the cars and the drivers, but on the ovals you can clearly see in a 100 lap race how the dynamic track oval racing is beautifully working.
I've seen that a few drivers, Nesov especially, has only done 3 laps. He only did 3 laps the other day as well. So I don't know if some of them are missing a trick a little bit because quite a lot of drivers have improved on that 4th lap, and yet some are only electing to do 3 unless they're thinking that it's maybe the best lap that they could possibly do. I don't know, but surely you'd want to get all 4 attempts in. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
Zugran
something
doesn't matter.
we might ask the drivers when they join us here in the booth after the race, because it is definitely something interesting. They didn't really go a long way into the laps, to clearly say they made a mistake or they weren't happy about their lap time. They just literally stopped after the start finish line. So apparently it's what they were thinking to do before even starting qualifying. So this is definitely something interesting to ask these few drivers. But the story of the day is definitely the leading car in the championship, Dennis Auger, qualifying in 4th row, even though not too far from the top guys. Very action-packed qualifying, Andrew.
Yeah, I think it's a good qualifying session. Yeah, half a tenth between sort of 2nd and 11th, sorry, 10th place. Very, very good indeed. So we've just got sort of a minute left. Just to answer the question on the chat, it's the Formula 3 car, Alexis. It's not the Renault, my dude, but it's the yeah, it's the Dallara F3 car.
Yeah, this car is very, very interesting to watch in its racing, because with the new damage model is always providing a lot of memorable incidents whenever the
Yeah.
parts start flying around the track.
Yeah, and I did see on one of the qualifying laps, somebody didn't go off the track at all, and just some wheels appeared in the background, just flying across the track. So yeah, it does happen. We do see that every now and again here, as qualifying is over. So we're going to get the starting grid any moment now, and I'll bring that to you as soon as it comes up. And here we are, Sam Cowtett then qualifying. Much better than he has done for most of the season. On pole position, Victor Anderson in 2nd place, ahead of Callum Williams, who's one of his best qualifyings of the season. Simon Sykes up in 4th, Alexei Nesov in 5th, Gregoire Saucy in 6th, and Quinlan Lyle 7th. Dennis Hauger, championship leader, only 8th, ahead of Kai Aski. Consul Apalainen in 10th. We're hoping to avoid first lap dramas. Joey Alders is in 11th, with Josh Mason 12th. 13th, Jose Garfias. Isaac Blomqvist in 14th, Guilherme de Oliveira in 15th, Bruno Carneiro in 16th, 17th for Philip Ugran, and at the back will be Oliver Gota of the 18 who will start. So here we go then, here at Imola. The lights are about to come on this famous grid. What are we going to get for the race in the Formula Drivers Challenge? Round 10 will be underway now as the lights are off and the race is on. It's a good start by Cowtett. It's a better start by Anderson. Callum Williams has got away well as well, and he's challenging Anderson as they go into Tamburello for the first time. All the cars just streaming in there. It's going to be some close quarters stuff, no doubt about it. As Saucy looks like he's had a problem. Gregoire Saucy dropping down the order. He's in the gravel at the back, but meanwhile at the front, Cowtett still leads Callum Williams. Oh, he goes right, tries to go around the outside of Anderson. He loses it. He spins in front of the pack. And there's a few drivers involved in that. Lal is involved, and Lapalainen, and a few others as well. Nesov, I think, and Ugran, yes.
Yeah, nothing
So
they
Cowtett,
could do there.
no, it wasn't a very good start at all. Aski's up into 4th then for the British driver. Cowtett leads the way. He's got a 3-second lead already, Sam Cowtett. Simon Sykes is in 2nd place. You can see him ahead of Aski. Aski's actually up in 3rd as Lal is out. and just at the top of the timing screen, temporarily Garfias dropping down the order as well behind Alexei Nesov. Alessandro, that was madness on the first lap. Madness.
Oh yeah, for sure. You always see a lot of contacts in the first few corners in every race because obviously these cars are very, very
Oh,
nimble
look at
and it's always very tricky to find space. Someone who definitely got a very good start there is Dennis Auger, who made 3 spots in the first few corners. But let's
yeah.
have a look at the replay.
Let's see it from his viewpoint then, Dennis Hauger, to see how events unfolded. Oh, he gets a beautiful start. He really hooks that up nicely. Already making ground on the car in front, which is Kayaski. And then where does he go then? He goes to the inside, which is a smart idea. It was Sosi actually, wasn't it, in the background who he just overtook, and then Sosi ended up spinning off. And then we're going to see as we go through Villeneuve, the nonsense between Williams and Anderson. Williams tried to go around the outside, just clips him, and he spins. Hauger was very lucky not to get clipped. Oh my goodness, look at that. And well, living dangerously there, Dennis Hauger. But he, in fairness, Alessandro, he was as careful as he possibly could be.
Oh yeah, he for sure did his best there to get a very good start, trouble-free, kept it clean, and now he's already back to P3 behind Simon Sykes and in front of Kayaski, who made a very good start, already 5 positions up, as Josh Mason is right behind him, with 7 places up. So definitely
Yeah,
safe start, paid evidence for all the
great,
backmarkers.
great start for Mason. Saucy's made his way past Goethe after spinning off in the first corner. Actually, Gregoire Saucy spinning might have ended up keeping him out of some of the trouble. We're looking at Bruno Carneiro, the man from Brazil who drives in the Asian Formula Renault category. Mason's got a slowdown then coming out of the Rivazza, and so he's going to drop down behind Carneiro and behind Isaac Bloomquist. And Bloomquist then is on the inside, Carneiro on the outside, and Bloomquist might have. Does Bloomquist have suspension damage? No, he doesn't. I think it's just a glitch, potentially, because he looks like he's okay as they go through Tamburello.
Yeah, yeah, his car seems to be fine. He's handling all right. So sometimes you have some differences between what the driver can see from one end to the other. That's the power of the internet sometimes.
Yeah, on my screen, his rear right wheel is bobbling about. Oh,
Sykes,
and that's
Sykes.
Simon Sykes. Simon Sykes has spun. The man who was in second place.
Yes,
So let's see what
I think
happens
he
to him.
clipped
He's coming under pressure from Hauger. He's into Toza.
the
He
grass.
just gets on the grass. He goes too wide. There's plenty of runoff area there, Alessandro, but he tried to use too much.
Yeah, indeed. Typical mistake you make with any car around here. You try to get as much as. Oh, we saw
And
there
that's
another
Garfias.
car. Yeah, spinning in the background. It's very easy to make a mistake there because you try to get as much as the outside curve to get as much speed exiting, and obviously if you miss time your throttle input just by a tiny bit, you get wide, and it's most of the times they over. But there
Mason
is
in
like
the pits.
he definitely got lucky there.
Mason in the pits, so I wonder if he has got some damage, maybe sustained on the previous lap. Maybe down at Rivazza, maybe that's why he was slow. Maybe he had an off or something at maybe the very anti-alta, but we're not quite sure. We're looking at Isaac Blomqvist, who's up in 4th position. Blomqvist, one of 2 Swedes in the competition, is currently 18th in the championship on 80 points, but he's looking to make some inroads here today as Victor Anderson ahead of him, his fellow countryman. Well, he's a lap down now after taking a crash repair. Sam Kauter leads then by 3.5 seconds. Dennis Hauger has actually got into 2nd place now, Alessandro.
Yeah, the spin from Sykes gave him P2, and last time by we essentially run the same lap time on some quitter up front. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Dennis Auger will have the pace to catch the flying driver from the Netherlands, because even though he's the only non open wheeler driver on the in the field in this championship, being the kart championship double champion, he's definitely shown a lot of speed.
Oh yeah, and I think he's going to go on to bigger and better things. I must admit, in the when the racing resumes out on the actual circuits, he sets the fastest lap here as well by 0.3 of a second. So he took 0.3 out of Hauger that time round. Hauger's 2 seconds clear of Kayaski, and here's Gregoire Saucy trying to fight back through the field. He's a second behind Alexei Nesov, who is also a second behind Joey Alders. So you can see the drivers there. Alders number 23 at the front, and then Nesov, then a lapped car of Quinlan Lowell. Oh, and off goes, on a bit into the wall. That's Nesov.
Yes, Nestor a bit wide there, and obviously when you go out to the track with this tire model, it's very, very complicated to slow down the car and obviously hit the barrier. Nestor probably will have to use his spare car and start from the pit again,
Yeah.
as we also had some issues for the Oliveira, who lost a lot of time in the sector 1 this lap.
Yeah, that actually puts Oliver Goethe up to 9th place from 18th on the grid. So he's going exceptionally well. As Saucy recovers from his spin. He was actually 6th before he spun, Saucy. So that's sorry, he was 7th before he spun. So that's not too bad in the end to be back in 7th. Blomqvist and Carnero then here. Blomqvist was 1/10 of a second slower than
The
Carnero's
21
lost it.
car around, yes. Let's
Oh,
see.
he's going to get hit surely. Oh, it's a big one. That was Simon Sykes coming round and again using far too much runoff area in the end, Mr. Sykes there, and they actually cost him in the end because he couldn't get off the runoff, could he, Alessandro? He couldn't get back on the black stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sykes there, to be fair, couldn't do much there either, because you are so committed to your line, and this big green curve is essentially part of the
He
preferred
was off
line.
anyway, mate. He was off anyway before he even saw the crashed car. I think he was going off anyway, by the looks of it. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, the drivers are definitely pushing it a lot.
Yeah, and we saw at Charlotte Road, didn't we? A week or so ago that, well, when I was with Marco, I believe,
Yes.
that the car just does not like being pushed hard over the bumps and the curves. It just doesn't like it, and so what we're seeing is we're just seeing drivers using far too much of the well, you know, yes, they try and use what they can get away with, but in this car, you can't really get away with a great amount. Mason's back up to 9th, and De Oliveira's back up to 8th after his problems that he had on the previous lap. He lost 8 seconds, as you said. Goethe's 7th now, which is fantastic for him. That's the best result. It's going to be the best result of his season if he stays there. In fact, that might actually be the first points. Oh no, it's not the first points. It's the first points for a while though. I think for
For sure, it's
Goethe.
gonna be the first on top 10 for the Danish driver.
Hopefully he can stay there and he doesn't make any mistakes. Philip Ugran's up to 10th then, after he's taken his spare car and back up in 7 places from where he started. In the meantime, Dennis Hauger chasing after Sam Kauter. Now, he's not closing in. Kauter still quicker on pretty much every lap. So I wonder, Alessandro, if this might be just one of those races for Hauger where he's just going to take the P2 and keep the vast majority of his championship lead, because I'll be honest, I wouldn't necessarily blame him. He's 4 seconds ahead of Askey. He's got no pressure from behind. He may as well just go along at a steady pace.
Oh yeah, for sure. Something we would like to see is Auger trying to push as hard as possible, trying to catch Auger, but I think he's definitely from the opposite opinion. He's gonna probably just make sure he doesn't make mistakes and bring home a P2 because it's always very important to get points, high points, a lot of points every round to be up top.
Ugran has just lost a place to Anderson. Those two are battling hard actually together. Might be side by side, you know. 10th and 11th positions. And here is Ugran. And there is Victor Anderson.
Very, very tight battle. They are moving a lot on the straight.
Who's that? Oh, off
Ugran
goes Ugran.
goes wide.
Who's that other car coming through?
Trying to see. I might be Isaac Longquist,
Oh, is it?
but not 100% sure. But
Yeah, no, I think you're
obviously
right.
he's trying to keep it clean, make sure he doesn't get involved with this fight because obviously he is a fourth and doesn't want.
Oh, Ugran!
Ugran power slide there, too much power exiting.
Oh, and
And
he rejoins just about
yeah,
well enough.
I think it was the right idea there because he was on the racing line, and when you come out of that hairpin, you can't do much about it if you have somebody on the racing line. It's gonna be tough to avoid him.
Yeah, he's lost out to Lal and Carnero. So those are all the drivers, Alessandro, who took a fast repair, and they're like you say in the spare car for this one, and well in the second half of the race. So there's 1 minute between De Oliveira in 8th and Mason in 9th. So the likes of Goethe, you know, like you say, it might be the first top 10 for him. I think you'd probably be right on that one. He may as well, Alessandro, just focus on finishing the race because he, you know, the rest of them aren't going to catch him. It doesn't matter how fast they go or how slow he goes. Even they're not going to get there.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen
He'll
also
finish
last
8th at the very
time
least.
in Germany how Philippe Ugran has been a little bit more consistent and made less mistakes at Nürburgring. And even though he's a bit off pace, which maybe on the real life track might be an issue, in sim racing maybe a little bit less, as there is more tendency to have wrecks in front. He almost did a top 10 also last time, so if he didn't make so these tiny mistakes at the start, he might well be up top with Goethe, for example. But obviously,
Well,
these drivers are trying their best and trying to put a heck of a show for all the people watching here on Apex Racing TV.
front two absolutely flying. Kautet and Hauger set the fastest. Kautet set the fastest lap of the race. Hauger set his personal best lap of the race on the previous lap, 136.91. We just saw Kayaski there, who was sat in third place. He is 6 seconds behind Hauger and 6 seconds in front of the man that we're looking at now, Isaac Blomqvist of Sweden, who is in fourth place. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of Joey Alders. You might see Joey in the background. There he is, the Dutchman. Is 6 places up from where he started in 11th. Grégoire Saucy is in 6th, and that's actually where Saucy started. So, like I say, Alessandro, spinning off at the start, I think it actually helped him because it meant that he didn't get crashed into.
Oh yeah, for sure. Some unfortunate events ended up being very beneficial for the Swiss driver, who is now trying to recover and try to get to Joy Alders for a nice top 5. But obviously, the race is still long. We are halfway through. Time flies every time here in this series. The starts are always very chaotic. We don't know where to watch every time. It's this car is providing definitely very interesting race starts every time.
Oh yeah, and I think well, this is my 9th race out of 10, and I've really enjoyed covering this series because I'd say that open wheelers is kind of where I started doing the commentary, and it's where I think I'm most comfortable. But and yeah, the starts are very very interesting, but always entertaining. Hey, we're here to entertain. There's nothing ever dull about these races, and I will say with what I always like, Alessandro, about single seaters, as So C gets absolutely all kinds of sideways and variante alta, is that it always looks exciting. Just the drivers just driving around the track, you know. It's like sometimes when you watch GT cars or you watch touring cars, it's not always that much fun to just watch them going around the track. Whereas with these, it's all action. They're very light. They're very nimble, and the driver's really giving it everything. As Hauger sets the fastest lap now.
Oh yeah, for sure. You see them exploiting all the racetrack and even more every corner, and this is definitely fascinating because anything can happen. So just a tiny mistake by any of these competitors could jeopardize all their effort today. So you can't definitely miss any single minute of these races. Half an
That's where it's
hour is
impressive as well. That's where the drivers have been very impressive, I think, because they're pushing very, very hard, even knowing that the slightest error can cost them the entire race.
oh yeah, for sure. Because I think this is for them the most important part of this championship, being able to race under pressure for half an hour, which is the perfect time for an open wheeler race. It's not too long and not too short, and always entertaining. And they are constantly flying around the tracks as a maximum speed, trying to not make mistakes, which is the best training they can have in this tough time where they can't be on the track.
Oh yeah, racecraft is, absolutely, absolutely everything really in terms of. Now, Aski's dropped away from Hauger. He lost a couple of seconds on the one lap, a few laps ago, as you can see there by the what we probably call the middle finger graph, actually, that Alex Simpson's managed to bring up onto the screen. So there you go. And there's the gap between the two leaders. Then Hauger, Gaita. It's increased by 1 second over the past 5 laps, Alessandro. So that's steady progress by Gaita.
Yeah, both drivers are very consistent in their lap times, and Sam has shown from the start in qualifying to have a very, very, very good pace around here. And for sure, Auger, as we were saying earlier, maybe is always hinting a little bit to the championship, making sure he's not gonna make any mistake because being up top is always giving you a lot of points, and as you drop down the order, the difference is always bigger. So you better lose 5 points each round instead of conceding maybe 21 and then have to fight back in the next one.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because every time I commentate on a series, especially when I commentate on a lot of different races, kind of in a short space of time, as Hauger disappears, as as we all hold our breath collectively there. I always want to, to know what it's like to actually drive in the series and race against some of these guys. And even though I won't be able to do that, I definitely think that it does look like a lot of fun out there. As Joey Alder's then under pressure. Well, he's not under pressure really because that's Alexei Nesov and he's a lap down. So Nesov, who's come in, he's taking his fast repair and he's on his way again, and he's just going to try and go as fast as he can, maybe to try and catch Ugran, who I think is oh well, he won't catch
Almost a
Ugran.
full lap.
He's a minute and 25 behind him.
You never know. You always have to try. Nesov has always been one of the drivers who never doesn't matter what, even if they crash, they always come back out on track and make sure to run all the race because it's always points and consistency is always keeping in such a long championship like we have
That's very true.
here. So it's definitely gonna be interesting at the end to see if these little points are gonna make a difference from P3 to P4 or P5 or for any driver, also P10, doesn't matter. It's always nice to get the best out of any race you make in the real or the virtual world.
That's very true, and I think yeah, Nesov always going to try. I mean, if Ugran crashes, I suppose he's got a chance, hasn't he, of getting those positions. And the retirements, then just 4 of them so far: Simon Sykes, Jose
Joy
Garcia,
Alders,
Ponce de Lappenleiden, and Callum Williams. And Alders is spun at the Rivatsa.
yeah, he bounced on the tire
Might be worth
barriers
just coming
there.
straight into
I
the
think
pits
he's
there.
gonna have to serve his fast repair and get the spare car running because
But
even though
he
it's only
stayed
10
out.
minutes, yeah, it's 10 minutes, so it's gonna be probably 6 laps or
I think
7
it
laps
might have been worth
maximum.
coming into the.
But
It might have been worth
yeah,
coming in.
I think the same. Yeah, it's definitely not a very easy decision to make, to be fair, on the spot on the last corner. So
Although he might think that he's, he might think that he's. Although Alders is losing a lot more time as well. Has he had a slowdown penalty? Maybe he looks like he's really slowing. Goethe is catching him very quickly.
some damage there. The front wings definitely is gonna cost him a lot. But we also have to see if he has some suspension damage, which not always we can see from our cameras. It's definitely the handling gonna change throughout this lap, and it might have some issues, especially in these tough corners where you are always on the limit. Trying meantime, we see Ugran go wider, and just a tiny difference in the setting of your car might cost you the race.
Well, Goethe is one of the youngest competitors in the championship, racing in the F4 in Spain, and so he's going exceptionally well today, up in 7th, and he might well get. He may well get another place because he's closing at 3 seconds a lap on Alders now after Alders crashed.
Ivers is entering now
So
pit road.
now he's in the pits because he realizes he's lost. Yeah, he's lost too much time. If he'd have come in last lap, he could have saved himself maybe 6 or 7 seconds. So yeah, big problems for Alders, but he's going to come in. He's going to go out again quite quickly. Goethe is going to, De Oliveira is going to go through, but he will be able to come out straight away and see if he can get some clean laps in this last 7 minutes and see 6 minutes and see if he can gain any more places. Yeah, it's going to be about 13, 14 seconds behind. It's quite a long pit lane actually here, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for
It's a
sure.
lot longer than it used to be, I think.
Yeah, because it's starting all the way down at the start of the straight. You have just 150 meters from the last corner, instead of starting way back to the middle almost of the straight
Well, yeah, 'cause
10,
it used to
15
start in
years
the
ago.
after the Variante
Because we have,
Bata.
yeah, we had the chicane there, and the pit road was starting right at the entrance of the last chicane. So now it's definitely much longer. Meantime, Hauger scoring another fast lap, but the gap is still almost 4 seconds. So it's gonna be tough for the Norwegian driver to get another win.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a very good lap, and he took 7/10 out of him. But time is running out, and here is Quinlan Lal trying to unlap himself from Saucy, and Saucy, I might as well let him go through. To be honest, if he's going to annoy you that much, I think I'll
yeah, he has a
probably let him through and try and get the slipstream.
big gap on Oliver Goethe. So for sure, he should maybe just let him go to make sure he doesn't do anything silly. But I was also to talk about Guilherme de Oliveira, the Portuguese driver who has joined us in this championship only in the last few rounds. He's showing always in these events very good pace. And today, with all these carnage early on, he's making his way through to P7. So definitely another solid performance.
Yeah, just the 4 points so far for him in the championship, but he's definitely showed some good speed. Maybe not the good fortune that he would have wanted, but this is certainly a much better performance from him in 7th position. And we're looking at Isaac Lundqvist then ahead of Nesov, who's flying ever since he came in for the repairs. He's lapping quicker than everyone else, pretty much apart from the two leaders and Anderson. So, and Anderson did qualify on the front row. Blomqvist lets Nesov through. That's sensible.
Nesov has shown always a very good speed, to be fair, throughout this championship, but has been involved in a little bit too many wrecks. So he
Yeah, I
always
think so.
had to fight back from some early drama. And today I feel like Nesov and Quinian Lol are the two drivers losing out big time from the start of the race, because Lol is lapping when he has a free track at the pace of the leaders, so he definitely had a lot of speed also here in Italy.
If you yeah, if you can survive the first 5 minutes here, it seems like you can do some good things in this championship. Lundqvist has done just that today. He's 4 seconds ahead of Sosi, so that's pretty much job done unless he makes a mistake, which I'm obviously not hoping he does. But yeah, I think he's even got room for a small mistake if he wants one. But he'll also be hoping that he doesn't. Kautert is 3.8 ahead of Hauger. Then Hauger has gained a couple of tenths on him again on this lap, but still 3.55 seconds, and that is plenty for
Yeah,
Sam Kautert
we
as
have
he starts his penultimate lap.
2 laps, yes, indeed, and that's what I wanted to say. So now, obviously, Auger has to opt for a mistake, as let's say all the drivers now are pretty much locked in their position. There are no direct battles on the track. The closest battle we have so far is actually Sam Kuiter and Dennis Auger for the top spot. So they try for sure to
Now,
don't make mistake and make sure to get to the end. Clean.
sorry to interrupt, but Sosi is actually close to within 2 seconds of Blomqvist, and that's Joey Alder's stationary
Yes,
coming out of the Variante Alta. So I don't really know what's happened there, but Sosi is closing in on Blomqvist, and you can see that battle there. I don't think he's got enough time to make anything work there. Really, Alder's.
never say never, Andrew. He can pull out a great last lap. And Alders here seemed like the car switched off almost.
Yeah, that's very strange. He is still out there on the track, and he is going again. So maybe he had to go and answer the door or something, or let the dog out. I don't know. Who knows? So we've got
To see here trying to get
coming on
some
to the last lap then.
Yeah, for sure. He's the one who's gonna give everything he's got, trying to get Blomqvist, because for sure 1.7 seconds is a very small gap. To be fair, he lapped 1 second faster than the Swedish driver. It will put some pressure for sure.
He'll be very annoyed that he spun off on the first lap, because his pace is very good now. It's almost at the leader's pace. He would have probably finished third in this one, you would imagine, if he'd have carried on without incident. But sadly for him, not so much. Kautert then coming into the last sector and into the Rivazza for the final time, and he's going to put a dint in Dennis Hauger's championship lead. It's not going to be a massive one, but it will be one that well and truly keeps the Dutchman in contention as we go into the last 4 rounds of the championship. So round Rivazza 2 for Sam Kuiter, and he comes through and he's going to take the checkered flag then here at Imola in the Formula Drivers' Challenge. Sam Kautert takes the win.
Great drive from start to finish. Not a single mistake, but drive for the young driver from Holland. Meantime, we see Kayaski with a great drive today,
Mm.
especially after the disappointment of the last event at the Nürburgring. This is definitely a very good result for him.
Yeah, I mean he's not old enough for the bubbly, but I'm sure he could. Sure, there'll be some like lemonade or something. Who knows? But Aski comes across and takes that one. So well done to him in third. Blomqvist in fourth, and Saucy only 9 tenths of a second behind in the end. Alessandro, good driving from him. But here's Oliver Gota, another one of the youngest competitors out there, who's going to come home and get his best result in the Formula Drivers Challenge for sixth position.
Yeah, great drive. He kept it clean. I don't think he made any mistake, maybe just a little off, but apart from that, has been super clean. This is what these drivers, which maybe do not have the pace of Kuiter or Auger, have to do in this series. If they keep it clean, you're always gonna get a solid result around the top 10, depending on the events and how the first few laps shape out. But yeah, definitely a very good event for them.
Yeah, brilliant driving then for De Oliveira as well, who finishes in seventh. And here's the finishing order then. Sam Cowtett wins by 4.475 seconds over Dennis Hauger. Kayaski in third, and Isaac Lundqvist in fourth. Gregor Saucy finished fifth ahead of Oliver Goethe, with Guillaume de Oliveira in seventh. Joey Alders had some strange goings on the last lap, but still finished eighth ahead of Josh Mason. Victor Anderson started on the front row and ended up finishing 10th. We'll be disappointed with that. Quinlan Lal in 11th, Philip Ugran 12th, 13th for Alexei Nesov, and then the cars who didn't finish the race, Bruno Carnero down in 14th, Simon Sykes 15th after he had some issues while running second. Jose Garfias spun off, and then I don't think we saw him again. Consta Lapalainen in 17th. Callan Williams finished 18th after the move he made on lap one didn't quite go to plan. Right then, let's see if we have anybody
We have already someone
to chat
ready to be
to.
called up.
There you go, Alessandro. Fire away, my friend.
Alrighty, Sam, glad to see you here up top today here at Imola. You said you were gonna go pretty fast around here last time because you said you like this track and you did a masterful job here in both in qualifying and during the race.
Yeah, make my words come true, right?
Indeed.
So yeah, it was a good race. Bit lucky in the beginning that I could pull away easy, but yeah, I just kept a solid pace. I think in the front, I didn't saw Dennis come pretty much closer. Maybe in the middle stage of the race a bit because I was not scared, but you just don't want to spin the car with that much lead. So yeah, that just drove pretty steady, same laps every round. So yeah, it was a good race for me.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Andy during the broadcast, how interesting is to see you guys driving all the way from the start to the end, even though you know you can make a mistake because this track in particular is also very complicated to drive with the high curves and the elevation changes. How
hmm
you always go 100% no matter what.
Well, in the middle stages, when I gained that much, then you just go to 90 because, especially when you go downhill in sector 3, I think that is, before the chicane, that corner, you can pretty easy lose it on the rear. And yeah, you don't want that. And then you get off track and a slowdown if you go wide when you go uphill again to the chicane. So I did a little bit more calm there, but I saw in the end that Dennis just gained much when I just didn't push there. So yeah, the last 3 rounds I just pushed it all the way again, and yeah, paid off.
Well, Sam, as per usual, anybody you want to thank before we?
Yeah, again, my esport team, Allied, but after that, and other people. Thank you guys.
All right, Sam, we hope to see you back next time, next
Yeah, I said
race.
I said I come when I win. Well, it was pretty soon, so 2 days after. So well, maybe on the end of the season. Let's see how far we can come, right?
Never say never. You have plenty of chances still.
Thanks, mate. Have a nice evening, boys.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Well done. Congratulations on the victory. Very good indeed for Sam Carter taking the win here at Imola. And with that, Alessandro, I think it is time to end here from the Formula Drivers Challenge for today. But we are going to be back on Wednesday for the next round, which I believe is, I think it's Zandvoort from memory. Oh no, it's Silverstone, I think, from memory. So it's one of the two. I'll just have a quick scroll up. I'll
Oh
tell
yeah,
you what.
both very interesting track, way
Furiously
different
still
one
while I
from the
check.
others.
Silverstone.
Definitely. But yeah, for sure Silverstone is gonna be interesting. A flat track, hopefully some driver will be happy with that. Not so much up and downs.
Well, in
But
theory, we should get. It should be slightly cleaner at the. Well, I say cleaner. We've got the arena section, haven't we? So maybe not. Silverstone on Wednesday, Zandvoort on Thursday, Sebring on Saturday, and it finishes Sunday night at Montreal at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Alessandro, it's been an absolute pleasure having you join me for a few of these rounds. I believe you say it might be your last one, so but thank you very much for all your help over the past 2 weeks.
oh yeah, guys, thank you so much for having me here, and obviously looking forward to see how this beautiful championship is gonna shape up in the last few rounds. Even though I will be not in the booth, but I will be there for sure.
Well, everybody stick around on the channel because in just an hour's time we're going to be live with the World GT Championship. That'll be on the iRacing Esports Network also. And that'll also be at Imola, funnily enough. So there you go. We don't have to go very far, everybody, in order to enjoy more racing tonight. So from all of us here, from Andrew Woodhouse, from Alessandro Dalladonna, and from Alex Simpson, who's been bringing you all the beautiful cameras and the footage that you've seen today, it's goodbye from Imola, and we'll see you in Imola in about an hour. See you soon.